Okay, so MCL1 is not on our buy list. Also, the setup is incorrect for a buy. We do have a breakout to the bottom of the Asian range. We do have cross of the EMAs. We do have a long entry call. However, the EMAs are blue. Aqua, gray, blue. That's consolidation. What we're looking for is this. We want AGB. That's aqua, gray, blue. That's for an uptrend. And we want BGA, blue, gray, aqua. That's for a downtrend. Any other combination of these three EMAs is consolidation. So we're going to ignore that altogether. And also, it's not on our buy list for the week, so we would ignore this anyway. So I've been closely watching most of the morning. It got down to 103,576. The issue with that is that the bottom of Bitcoin's recent price was way back when President Trump announced the additional 100% tariffs on China, which, by the way, he never actually went through with. They dropped Bitcoin to 102,000 even. Well, it hasn't broken most recent structure, which is here, but it's gotten close, and now it's retracting from that point. If it falls below this 102,000 marker, it's going to be in free fall for quite some time. And you can look at that by just looking to the left. And you see that price could possibly drop all the way down to about 98,300. If it breaks that, now you're in free fall to around 93,500. That's going to freak people out. If it breaks below that, now you're in free fall all the way down here to about 74,600. Which would by and far large be the largest liquidation event in crypto, well above the 21 billion that happened as a result of this move. It would dwarf that by a magnitude of several times. So I did call a couple of trades pre-market. I didn't bother to do a London session today because there just was not enough liquidity in the market to bother getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning for a 2-hour session where I was going to be doing nothing but staring at a screen. Do have another signal call. It's ZN1. That is a feature that also is not on our buy or sell list, so we'll be ignoring this. So the way this works, we fall into a 15-minute cycle of determining trades. Next ticker's at 7:45, which is a little less than 3 minutes from now. We'll continue every 15 minutes looking at possible opportunities to enter the market on a buy or sell basis up until 10 a.m. It was time we'll call it. And then the next session will be for London tomorrow morning at 2 a.m. So for the moment, we'll turn our attention to the crypto trade that is the greatest in profit. That's FIL USDT. And we'll sit there for the moment. Do you look for the CME gaps? Yes, I did. It's a part of my setup, but it's a secondary confirmation for me. So there's a indicator on TradingView that does that for you. It's called the Lux Algo Fair Value Gap. And if you unclick it, it will show you all the different gaps dynamically. So I don't really have to sit there and try and mark them off manually. In addition to that, I like to use pivots because it gives me an idea of mathematical reversals for price action. And I also have an order block detector. So I really have a sense of where the buys and sells are in the market. The other one that I use is called Poseidon. And what Poseidon does is it automatically marks off the most recent hard buy and sell reversal point on an asset. I normally keep that on in addition to the Patrick strategy because it gives me a sense of when I'm having a breakout above or below structure, which to me is an indicator that price is going to continue moving in that direction if there's space between the EMAs. Using this as an example, there's a massive space between the 250 EMA. We have BGA, which means we're in a downtrend. This is a very strong downtrend. So if price breaks this bottom part of Poseidon, to me, that's an indication that the downtrend is going to continue. If this holds and I continue to have higher lows, that's an indication to me that it may buy up into price. So yesterday, we had an absolute crap load of wins. I believe we began, what was this, on Sunday when the markets opened. We had 71 open cryptocurrency trades. We got down to 20 earlier this morning, and then we booked another 3 to start the morning. The 3 that we did this morning were, well, 4. We did 1 on People, 1 on Peanut, 1 on GLM, and 1 on ENJ. I didn't call out ENJ or GLM because they're not on the buy-sell list, but I did call out People and Peanut. So let me go ahead and post those now for the benefit of people that want to get into those trades. 1 second. So here's People. It's a cryptocurrency perpetual trade on a 15-minute confirmation. The entry price is 0.01001. The stop loss is 0.01028 for 27 pips. The take profit is 0.00931 for 70 pips. And it's the risk to reward ratio of 2.59. Next up is going to be Peanut the Squirrel versus Tether. Yes, that's a real thing. And it's a 15-minute confirmation. Again, a sell. The entry price is 0.1079. The stop loss is 0.1106 for 27 pips. And the take profit is 0.1006 for 73 pips. A risk to reward ratio of 2.70. The next trade that I called was OXT versus Tether. This also is a 15-minute confirmation sell. The entry price is 0.0371. The stop loss is 0.0379 for 8 pips. The take profit is 0.0337 for 34 pips. And a risk to reward ratio of 4.25. On the exact same offset, I also called a 30-minute confirmation. Again, OXT versus USD. T, 30-minute sell. The entry price is 0.0372. The stop loss is 0.0384 for 12 pips. And the take profit is 0.0325 for 47 pips. This time with a risk to reward ratio of 3.92. Those are the trades that I've taken so far this morning. Or at least the ones that I've called out. These are on our buy and sell list for the week. So pretty much as close to a guarantee as you're going to get that it's going to hit take profit for you. As to where we are right now, we're currently, as of February the 3rd until now, 1,093 wins versus 827 losses for a win rate percent of 56.93%. We've won 4,431,690 pips so far this year. To put that in perspective, if you were to have taken every single trade that I called this year and just put 0.01 lot size on it, you would have made $443,169. At a minimum. Some of these were more heavily weighted than regular Forex currencies. For instance, we have wins on Bitcoin and Ethereum and Ripple. We have wins on indices like the US 30, the NASDAQ 100, the S&P 500. We have wins on gold, silver, platinum, palladium, US and UK oil and natural gas. All of those are more heavily weighted. So that number that I gave you is kind of conservative. You probably be somewhere north of 600K in profit had you taken every trade that I called this year. At minimum a lot size. Now, granted, for those of you that have been in Project Genesis, which is my private group, I've been calling trades for 12 years now. Obviously, last year I didn't call a lot of trades because for those of you that are familiar, I had a massive heart attack. So I was down for like 7 months from early August up until February of this year. So 2023, we did 10.2 million pips for the year. I did take some breaks that year. This year we're at 4.4 million plus. I've probably taken maybe 7 weeks off in the time we've been trading since February the 3rd. So I think you kind of get the picture. We do this in real time. The lives are up. The proof is there. I'm not just blowing smoke and mirrors up your ass. Like, I really do this. All right, let's get back to trading view. It did call out a trade on USD versus Swiss franc. I don't even know if that's on our list or not. If it is, it's going to give us a re-entry because it came back to the original entry price. Let's take a look. And we do have it. So we're going to take this. This is going to be a buy on the United States dollar versus the Swiss franc. It's going to be a buy from current price on a 15-minute confirmation, targeting 0.8114. 0.8114. Give me a second. I'll grab the parameters for this and get this out. All right, pip calls. And USD CHF, 15-minute buy. The risk is 4.39. Your entries at 80837. Dang it, I closed my window. So 4.39. 80837. Stop is at 80768. That's for 7 pips. Take profits at 8114. And that's for 30 pips. So this is a major Forex currency. Should be easy to find on any broker. I don't know of any broker that doesn't carry this. Again, this is the United States dollar versus the Swiss franc. This is a 15-minute confirmation buy. The entry price is 0.80837. Your stop loss is going to be 0.80768 for 7 pips. Your take profit is going to be 0.81140 for 30 pips. The risk reward ratio is 4.39. And we've got like less than 5 minutes to the top of the hour. We should get more opportunities to enter the market at that point. Head back to Bitcoin. Thankfully, has fallen into consolidation for right now. No sign that it's going to go back up. We got a double bottom. But bear in mind the space between the EMAs here. This is a very strong recent downtrend on Bitcoin. I don't know if it's going to continue or not. And to be quite honest, I don't think we have any major news. Let's check that out now. If you're not familiar with it, I recommend you start checking out this site, Forex Factory. It is amazing. I use it for checking news. And what it does is it provides you with a calendar of news that are color-coded. Red folders are major news. As you can see, we've got comments from various members of European central bank systems. But there's major news dropping right before the close of the New York Stock Exchange today at 3:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. The unemployment rate for the New Zealand dollar. This is ahead of the opening of the Sydney session at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Other than that, nothing else of note, at least not today. Then tomorrow we have ADP, non-farm payroll change for the United States dollar. This is 15 minutes before we start the New York session and 15 minutes before pre-market trading for the New York Stock Exchange. This is a major news item for the U.S. dollar. It always moves the market very fast. The forecast is supposed to be improved. I don't think they're going to get there. There's no way the economy gained 63,000 jobs over the last month. To put that in perspective, just in Houston alone, where I live, we've lost 35,000 jobs in the last few weeks. And that's just Houston. And this is PMI, Producers Management Index. This is the amount of money that manufacturers pay for raw materials to produce the goods and services that we buy from stores. It's dropping 30 minutes after the open bell of the New York Stock Exchange. It is also a major news item. It's expected to improve. I think it's actually going to come in bad. It'll be worse than previous. Okay. What else we got here? Let's take a look at commodities. And commodities are getting smacked around, which is unusual. At least for the last few days, have been rallying a little bit, but it's starting to sell off again. That's good for us because I believe we still have an open sell on silver and also 2 futures on silver. So we want to go ahead and get those 2 wins. But as you can see, the only commodity on our buy and sell list is natural gas. Everything else, basically in consolidations. We won't be trading these this week. We will trade natural gas if we get an entry. Let's check out indices. They're all down for the day, which might give us an opportunity for a buy. It's the first time I've seen a down day for Japanese yen since they elected their new prime minister. If you're not familiar with the Japanese market, they have severely negative birth rates in Japan, which has been affecting their economy and has been weakening the yen for years now. The new prime minister has really, really good ideas, and the market rallied. So the market started around 47,000 for the Japanese Nikkei, which is their equivalent of the U.S. stock exchange, and rallied to an all-time high of 52,000 plus recently. So it's coming down from way up here. So hopefully we get some buys on indices this week. It's going to take a little bit more room for us to do it. US 30 is close to getting us there, but it's not quite there. All right, it's now the top of the hour, 8 o'clock, and I don't hear a ding yet. So, man, 6S1, that is the futures on the Swiss franc. Let's see if that's on our sell list. And it is. We're going to be taking this. This is 6S1. This is the futures on the Swiss franc. Going to take a short from current position, targeting 1.23815. Grab the wires for this real quick. What in the hell happened here? Here we go. So, Sys X1 is the sell. Risk is 4.52. Entry at 2429. Stop at 24395. And that's going to be for 21 pips. Take profit of 1.23815. That's going to be for 95 pips. Next call of the morning is going to be 6S1. 15-minute confirmation sell. Entry price is 1.24290. Stop loss is 1.24395 for 21 pips. Take profit is 1.23815 for 95 pips. Risk to reward ratio of 4.52. All right, no more new signals for 8 o'clock. Next ticker is actually going to be 8:10 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's for the futures market, and 8:15 a.m. Central Standard Time for the market proper. If you aren't aware, the futures market on a 10-minute time delay from every other asset in the market. The reason being is that futures are traded out of the CBOE from Chicago, and their systems aren't as good as the ones from the New York Stock Exchange. So it takes a little bit longer to get information on futures. Okay. Days are flying by. It's already Tuesday. Feels like I just woke up and it was Sunday morning. All right, we got TN1. That is the futures on Treasury notes. Let's take a look. It's calling on a sell. I don't believe this is on our list for the week. So if it's not, we won't take it. And it is not. So you guys don't see this work on Sundays. What I do is I determine the buy or sell list. What I do is I go up to the 4-hour and I'm looking for AGB or BGA, basically an uptrend or a downtrend. For here, I see AGB, which means that this is an uptrend on the 4-hour. But when I go to the 1-hour, I see gray, blue, aqua. So it's a consolidation on the 1-hour, but it's an uptrend on the 4-hour. To me, that's consolidation. So we don't put this on our buy or sell list for the week. Price is going to hover. And we want high quality trades. So for that reason, we're going to ignore TN1. As you can see here, 6S1 BGA is on a downtrend on the 1-hour. You go to the 4-hour, you see the same thing. Well, actually, you don't anymore. It was that way at the time. But this is going to hit take profit for us. Really smooth. Very strong downtrend. What that also means is that if it's on the sell list, for instance, every time it calls a sell, we're going to enter a sell all week. Conversely, if we were looking at something that was a buy, for instance, I don't know one. Actually, HO1 got called earlier. And here's a buy. We're in HO1 already, but HO1 is something that every time it calls a buy on HO1, you would enter it. Same thing with Japanese Nikkei 225. Every time a buy is called on this, we would enter this trade. Same thing for the NASDAQ 100. If a buy is called, every time we would enter the trade. All right, about 6 minutes to the quarter of the hour, 8:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, we got another call here. This is on ZB1, that are Treasury bonds. There's a sell. Is it on our list, though? It's not on our list, so it won't be taking this. A little less than a minute to the quarter of the hour. Now the New York Stock Exchange opens at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time sharp. It's like 16 minutes from now. That's when we'll start to see the market move a lot faster than it's moving right now. Hopefully we get a boost of activity. All right. Doesn't look like we're getting anything for 8:15 a.m. Next entry to the market is 8:25 a.m. for the futures market and 8:30 a.m. the opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange. All right. Little under 3 minutes left to go to the futures market. Next signals at 8:25 a.m. Let's see what we end up getting. Okay, so nothing new for 825 for futures. Got the open. Hmm. So surprisingly, no action at the opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange. Things are moving a lot quicker. That doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get something. Bitcoin did break structure, so it's heading a little further south. Next opportunities to enter the market will be at 8:40 a.m. Central Standard Time for the futures market, 8:45 a.m. Central Standard Time for the rest of the market. Okay, this may not be good. So Bitcoin is approaching 102,000, which is the tail end of when Trump announced the 100% tariffs on China, and is doing it without a major announcement, which means that it's very close for the bottom falling out of Bitcoin. We'll see where it goes. It's getting dangerously close to that level right now. If you're not aware of what I'm talking about, let me go to the daily so you can see this more clearly. This is when President Trump made the announcement about China. This is where price currently is. You can see it broke structure here. If we break structure here, it's heading down to 98,000 and change. You know that from looking to the left. Right there. So we're on the cusp of a possible drop to around 98,300 price, which of course would mean that Bitcoin would drop like 8,000 points today. We've got a lot of action on the futures market, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. See what we got here. We have RB1. This is gasoline. It's calling a buy. It has not been marked off yet, but I don't know if gasoline is on our list. It is not. So we won't be taking gasoline. We have HO1. This is on our list. It's calling it a buy. We're actually in HO1 already, so we could call a secondary buy in it, but it won't take off for 30 minutes. We won't know until, 9:20-ish, what the trade is. What's likely to happen in that 30-minute cycle is that price will come back towards the original point, and then we'll re-enter with a better entry. And then there's a ZF1, which I believe is not on our list. Pretty certain it's not. And it is not, so we won't be entering that. So you've got a possible call on RB1 on the 30-minute. That's gasoline futures. Actually, HO1. Oh, my computer's moving so slow today. That's heating oil. So wait and see what we get. I want to go back to Bitcoin. So I'm really interested in what that's going to do. It appears to have bought up from that point. And then we do have a breakout to the bottom of the previous day's Asian range. It's going to take quite a push to get it, but we might get a very mini buy rally on Bitcoin right now. And bear in mind, this is an extraordinarily strong downtrend for Bitcoin. Any buy rally is going to be short-lived right now. Unless there's some major news we're not aware of, and I don't think there is. Well, that would be the reason. Looks like we had some whales dump 400,000 Bitcoin. that caused this drop. Interesting. It also looks like Bitcoin dominance is up, which means that altcoins are getting hit. Let's take a look at that. Bitcoin dominance is down right now. Ethereum versus Bitcoin is up, which means that altcoins should be slightly recovering right now. Yeah, good. So BTC.D is a measure of the dominance of Bitcoin outperforming other cryptocurrencies. When this falls and Ethereum versus Bitcoin goes up, normally what that means is that people are purchasing Ethereum as gas to purchase altcoins. So altcoins normally perform well when Bitcoin dominance is down and Ethereum versus Bitcoin is up. And that's what we have right now. So we might be getting a recovery of the rest of the market while Bitcoin falls, if this strengthens. We also appear to have the dollar finally back over $1 per dollar. So the dollar's pretty strong right now. Let's check currency strength. And the Japanese yen still leads the United States dollar as the strongest currency in the world. It's been that way for 2 days straight. United States dollar is the second strongest currency. Everything else is falling off. So that means sell-offs of cryptocurrency, of major Forex currencies. It means sell-offs of spot cryptocurrencies. It means sell-offs of commodities because the United States dollar is so strong. A signal. This is UB1. These are treasury bonds. This is not on our list, so we won't be taking it. Yeah. We can ignore that for now. We're still waiting for the mark off on the heating oil. The hell just happened? Oh, that's it. So it looks like we have a rally in the price of Bitcoin right now. I can see the longs that I have on cryptocurrencies going up. Let's go take a look at that. And I think heating oil may get away on us. Yep, it's back over 104,000, so it's climbed quite a bit in the last few minutes. Still in consolidation now. Our next two tickers are going to be at 8:55 a.m. Central Standard Time for the futures market and 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, the top of the hour for the rest of the markets. Bitcoin's really going for it. Okay. Bitcoin's still in consolidation technically till it breaks structure. It's to blow off the top of this section right here to get out of consolidation. And it has broken structure. So technically, Bitcoin is no longer in consolidation. Let's see if it can rally on a buy side. It's going to take quite a lot for it to get there. Let's take a look at order blocks and see what resistance it has. So we got a significant sell order block at 105,500. We got another one at 107,500. We have a third one at 108,900. But it is rallying from a significant buy order block. So it should break this one easily. These two are going to be difficult. There's a lot of people going long on Bitcoin right now. And I don't know if you saw that there's actually two giant order blocks. The one that's in the forefront, and then there's one behind it. About a minute and a half left to the top of the hour. Okay, give me a second. Something just kind of screwed up on my end. Um, Not quite sure what happened. Number one, it shows I'm in a London session, and that's not right. So I'm going to back out of this and go back to the New York session. I'll be up in just a second. 1 second. Something's wrong. Computer's giving me the blues this morning. Come on. There we go. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Not quite sure what the heck is going on right now. Okay. Sorry about that. It keeps dumping my broadcast, and it's really irritating me. Not quite sure what the problem is. I think I'm just going to call it a day and nuke this one because it's just not working. I'm having technical difficulties. So let me get my stuff working. I'll send you guys at 2 a.m. in the morning for London. Cheers.